Hey, this is Lise. I'm just getting back from Temple Hospital yesterday where I had to leave in my gown and socks with no bus pass or ride home. I was sold on a promise that I'd be able to get through this withdrawal and went to rehab. And at rehab, they couldn't control my symptoms. I had a blood pressure of 189/98. They sent me over to Temple and they did their best to control it there, and for a moment they did. Problem is, I kept telling them I had adverse effects to Suboxone, but it was like nobody would listen to me, and they promised that if I just tried, they'd counteract the symptoms. And then doctors were telling me, well, why haven't you gotten your PRNs? And it's not that I wasn't asking for them. I don't know why I wasn't getting my PRNs. And when I had a bad side effect, and they were supposed to counteract it, one time they did, and then just ignored me the rest of the way. The male nurse who said he was a supervisor was all too quick to not try and find the doctor or help me get through this, but just treat me as, most people have treated me my whole life. A waste of air. I wasn't given any clothes to leave with, so I was told to be thankful I was allowed to leave in gowns and socks. No bus passes or no way home. And I had been developing a rash. It seemed they just put gauze over it to cover it and just left me there. For the first half of my stay, I had some really great nurses that were trying to help me pull through this, and I kept begging the doctors to listen to me because I want to try, but just medication that I was supposed to get never came. Towards the end, the nurses stopped showing up, period, towards the end, and the male nurse supervisor just took my IVs out in the hallway and said, just go. And with some help and compassion from people on the street, I was able to finally make it to my place. And I couldn't take all the scratching and rashes from Suboxone, which I had told them I had an allergic reaction to, that they didn't listen. So when I did do something to control my withdrawal, I ended up overdosing. And of course, the paramedics just sat there and said that, from what I told, that I never bothered going into rehab. I probably escaped the hospital, and I don't get it. What is the point of trying if it's never enough? It just shows that if you got money, you can get somewhere in life. If you don't have money, then everyone's just waiting for you to die because you're in the way. So why do some people even sign on to be healthcare workers? You have no idea what kind of potential could be in store for the person that is making the rough choice to try and do better. You know, I might be in pain, but I'm not afraid to die. I know that God will always find me worthy of something. And I don't blame anybody or hold any ill will towards the people who have tried to hurt me along the way. I just wish that maybe somebody out there would see the kind of damage that this hatred cast upon me does. Because we're never going to make things better this way. I highly doubt anybody will hear this. But I've got to try. Have a blessed day.